Hey look, spaghetti! Hi everyone. We're making a chicken and cheese noodle bake. You're gonna like this one. Simple ingredients. Not hard to put together at all, but this will really fill your tummy. Let's go put everything together. The ingredients. First off is some chicken. I've got 4 chicken breasts. That should be plenty for this casserole. Along with that, we need some spaghetti. Probably about a half a pack, which is about 16 ounces. We're going to use some cream of mushroom soup and some cream of chicken soup. If you don't have a cream of chicken, you can just use 2 cans of cream of mushroom. Along with that, how about some sour cream? Yummy. We're going to use some butter, salt and pepper, and cheese. Cheddar, mozzarella, and Monterey Jack. And you can mix that any way you want. An onion, a red pepper, a little bit of celery salt. And I'm not sure where I put it, but we also need some milk and a little bit of flour for thickening. Okay, first off, let's work on the onion. Peel it, chop it, and into our bowl. Next up, our red pepper. If you don't have a red pepper, use whatever pepper you got. This just looks somewhat colorful. Chop it all up, same thing as the onion. Put it in the bowl till we need it. Put that aside. Over to our pot, a little bit of salt. We're going to bring this up to a boil. Break our noodles in half. And throw them into the pot, and we're going to let them cook till they're al dente. You don't need them super overdone. As long as they're cooked and not crunchy, that's the main thing. While we're waiting for our noodles, we're going to salt and pepper up both sides of our chicken, just so it's got a little bit of taste to it. Flip them over, flip them over, flip them over. And salt and pepper that second half. Okay, into our pan, medium heat, a little bit of oil. I love swishing around. In goes our chicken. We're just going to sear all the sides until it's pretty well cooked. Then we're going to chop it up. So once we get a good sear on the backside, flip over the other side. Now, if you don't have time for the chicken breast, just get some cooked chicken, either breasts or pieces, and chop them up. That'll do just as fine. Pasta's done, so into the sink it goes to drain. We'll get the cold water on it so it doesn't keep cooking. Plus, it's easier to handle when we're ready for it. We'll keep that pot because we're going to use that down the road. Our chicken's cooked. At least I believe it's cooked. We're going to let it cool down. And of course, if it's not cooked at this point, you'll know because it'll be pink. You know, we're just going to throw it back in a frying pan if need be. So into our already used pot, it's about a half a cup of butter. Oh yeah, swimming in butter. Check that out. In goes our peppers and onions. And we're going to swish them around and let them start cooking. After a few minutes, once they get soft, we're going to add 6 tablespoons of flour. And mix, 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 mix. Now we're going to gradually add 2 cups of milk. That's just 2%, but whatever you got's going to work. And you don't want to put it all in at once. You don't want your milk curdling either, so you're going to want to stir and stir and stir. Try not to burn your hands with the steam coming from the bottom of the pot. It hurts. Ow. So we just keep stirring and stirring, and of course the temperature's dropping as we stir in more of the milk, even though It is at room temperature. I've left this out to get to room temperature. It is what it is. We're going to bring it up to a simmer. And you can see here how it's starting to thicken a bit. That's the good old flour doing its job. We're going to give this about 2 minutes. We don't want to overdo it. But you can see it's bubbling right now. In goes our soups. 1 can of cream of chicken. And like I said, if you don't have cream of chicken, you know what? Throw in an extra can of cream mushroom. If you really want more chicken flavor, you could either put in a little bit of broth or maybe some chicken crystals or chicken bouillon. That'll do the same thing. In goes our cream of mushroom, which seems to be harder to come out. Eventually we get one good plop. And into our pot we go. Let's mix all that around. Now this is half teaspoon of celery salt. I also put in half teaspoon-ish of pepper. Now the sour cream. 1 cup of sour cream. Ish. I mean, it's around 1 cup. And you can see it's still really thick, but it, it's got a little bit of liquid to it. Let's give it a taste. Oh yeah, that's all good. That's all good. So, let's get over to our chicken. I'm going to cut these into slices and then cube. And you can cut these up to whatever you want. As always, I like the smaller cubes. If you want bigger pieces of chicken, go ahead. It's your recipe. You can do whatever you want with it. That's just my preference like that. So into our pot it goes, all of it. Now we're just going to combine it with our soup mixture. Just like that. Now the noodles. All them yummy noodles, they're going in. Now we've got to incorporate our soup mixture with our noodles. So it looks something like that. Take that off the element. Over to our counter. Tin foil pan. Grease her up with some cooking spray. And we're just going to dump that whole thing into our pan. Look at how, that fills up the pan quite a bit. So if you're only going to make half that amount, which is a lot too, you're going to have to half everything I did. So now we're putting our cheese on. That's Monterey Jack, the cheddar, and lastly, the mozzarella. Just like that. Oh, that's a lot of cheese too. That's one of the basic food groups. Now we're going to cover this up and bake this for 20 minutes at 350. So there we go at the 20-minute mark. Now the cheese is starting to melt. But we're not done. Now that the lid's off, back into the oven it's going to go another 5 to 10 minutes and get that cheese nice and bubbly. Ta-da! Look at that. It's even starting to brown a little bit too, just on the edge of browning. If you like it like that, keep it in another 5 or 10 minutes longer. So here's our plate. And here is our noodles. Oh, look at that. The cheese is just sticking to them. I love it. There we go. We got a fork to eat it with. And we're good to go because that's what I'm going to do. Chicken and cheese noodle bake. Yummy. Hey, another great recipe. I hope you'll give it a try. Leave me a comment below, one way or the other. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell because that'll tell you the next time I upload a video. Feel free to share this and any of my other videos. And thanks for stopping by and watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.